Hey everyone, this is London Bridge Bricks.
And I am TEK Productions.
And this is London Tech. Okay, so you've had the build experience of TEK Productions and me doing our live stream, and if you want to watch that back, folks, then please do follow the card above, or maybe check out in the description below. But otherwise, now this is the head-to-head of the Technic monster truck versus the Dragster. Now, I actually built the Dragster, which is set number 42103. It comes with 225 parts and retails here in the UK for pretty much £18 and over in the US for $20. How about you, Tech? What did you build?
So I got the pleasure, maybe, of building the LEGO Technic set 42119, and it is the Technic Monster Jam Max D, which is maximum destruction, which I've got a feeling is what is going to happen today. It's got 230 pieces, and it retails for $17.99 here in the UK, so really close in terms of piece count and price. So really comparable sets.
Yeah, and this is the whole idea of this, folks. We're basically taking something that's fairly similar and just comparing them and seeing which one we like best, really. And you never know, you might be surprised at the results. But anyway, I personally, the one thing that kind of drew me to these particular two sets is two things, folks. One, they're Technics, and me and Tech aren't really known for our powers of Technic's persuasion. And secondly, these ones come with pullback devices. And when I was a kid, I used to have I used to have like toys and that which you could kind of pull back and they'd go, and I'd have hours of fun with it. And that kind of I used to have an Evil Knievel that used to wound up, and it just used to go a lot. I used to like it, and the thing I really liked about it is it didn't come with any batteries. So it was kind of hours and hours of my arm was notoriously after about an hour my arm was aching and everything like that. I was crying out for something with batteries in it, but in this respect there's a couple of interesting points about this particular comparison, and one being the main one, really, in all honesty, is the fact that these are Technic sets, and I've never built a Technic set, let alone on a live stream before anyway. So, and that kind of leads us quite nicely into the build experience. So for you, Tech, what did you kind of think about your build experience of your kind of first live stream Technic set?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was being pessimistic going into it. I thought I was gonna hate it. I don't really like the Technic parts that are that come with a lot of the Star Wars sets, which is what my kind of forte is. But I was pleasantly surprised. Not so much that I really enjoyed the build. I gave it a 3 straight down the middle. I didn't not enjoy it. There wasn't anything that I disliked about it, but there wasn't anything that I particularly thought, oh, that was cool. Like it looks how it is. It's fairly self-explanatory, really, but there's no real cool build techniques. It is just putting pins together. So build experience, very middle of the road for me, I think. Down with the 3.
Down at the 3, okay. So that's not a bad start, straight down the middle. Now for me, of course, we did it on a live stream, folks, and I was doing it with Tech. So the build experience in that respect was fabulous. It really was. It was wonderful. But the experience of building a Technic set is kind of the main criteria here. And I thought it was okay. Technics to me, in a nutshell, is lots of little things being put together to make the bigger thing. So Technics in some respects is kind of the sum of its parts, if you kind of think of it like that. And I quite liked it. It's just lots of pins, and I don't understand, right? If you're going to have a toy, which is really what this is, I suppose, or a Technic sort of toy, a technical toy even, if you're going to do that, do you know what? Use different coloured pins, or pins that are kind of more relatable to the thing that you're building. So for my vehicle, for example, the Dragster, it comes in this, I can only describe it as a disgusting luminous green. It's horrific. It's like, I remember I had a vest in the 80s that was that sort of colour. People used to wear clothes like that in those days, folks. We won't go there yet. Different program for that altogether, that one is. But they did. And at the time, you would have been quite proud of it. But I wouldn't necessarily be proud of having a vehicle in that colour, maybe a Lamborghini, showing it off a bit. But then if you had this Lamborghini or whatever you have in that colour, you certainly wouldn't have bright blue pins or rivets, as the case may be, pinning it all together. And that kind of is a bit off-putting. And it's almost like Meccano. It reminds me a bit of Meccano. So for me, and all the stickers, blimey, there was a lot of stickers in this one, folks. There really is. I think that took as long to put the stickers on it as what it did to actually build the thing. So for me, for curiosity, I'm just going to give it a 2. That is so not the best starts, certainly not the fastest start. That's for sure for us Dragster. Which so that aside, our next selection, our next criteria would normally be minifigures. But Technic doesn't come with any minifigures at all. So we thought what we do is, right, we certainly got no Poe Damerons in this one, folks, that's for sure. So we thought we'd go for the secondary builds of these sets, because these are 2-in-1s. And I say that, folks, in the loosest possible terms. I really do. So what did you think of your secondary build, Tech?
Honestly, I think I'd rather have had a blank minifigure with no printing, no nothing, just like, it is so lackluster. I mean, it's a quad bike, kind of. It looks like they've chopped the top of the cab of the monster truck on it. It looks no different. It's not creative at all. And I am such a big fan of the concept of the Creator 3-in-1 sets. You look at like the pirate ship, the beach house. They've all got 3 really unique builds, and they're all obviously different, which I absolutely love. This, it looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. But it's like a less cool version of a monster truck.
Yeah.
Like a quad bike. Like, what's the point? You build the monster truck, you're not going to want to go and then build the quad bike. I gave it a 1. I was I'm not happy with it at all. I just anything special. Well,
okay, I can kind of feel your pain a little bit. Now, I couldn't really tell you what my secondary build is, folks. It's like, imagine you're driving something like a hot rod. Right, you're driving a hot rod and you're in a terrible car crash and it gets compacted, right? Because it's junk at the end of the day. That's what it looks like at the end of the day. It's like sure. It's got 4 wheels on it. It's got these bicycle wheels at the front. Why you would do that, I don't know. You've got the lovely great big manifolds at the front. They look fantastic. They really do. And it's like, well, where's the cabin? It doesn't exist. It's not there. So it's pretty poor, folks. It really is. I wasn't expecting too much out of it. And I've seen people do reviews. I was watching a Robin Hull. He did one once, I think it was a dumpster truck or something like that, and it was one of these 2-in-1s. It's even cheaper than these ones are, folks. I think there was £9, so like proper scraping the barrel. And what made me laugh about his review is he said, so this is the primary build. And he said, in all honesty, I can't be bothered to build the secondary build. It's rubbish. I thought, fantastic. Nice one, Robin. And that's pretty much how I feel about this. Not in a million years would I build this secondary build, which is why, really, folks, it loosely resembles something that looks like a hot rod. So in that respect, folks, I'm giving it a 2, which, of course, isn't really that great. And in all honesty, I think I gave it a 2 because I'm a nice guy. But, a sort of person I am, I suppose. So this is Technics, right? And Technics and build quality. What do you think of build quality, Tech?
Well, when you think Technic, you think build quality, right? Like, that is the purpose of it. It's definitely a specific. You've got to have a nice taste for definitely a specific type of aesthetic when it comes to Technic, but it is known for its build quality. And we also kind of think about play features when we talk about build quality as well. And the pullback feature, like Greg said earlier, hours and hours and hours of fun with this thing. And of course, it's durable. On the live stream, I pulled it back and I sent it flying into the wall. No problems whatsoever. It's still all in one piece. So build quality, we've gone from an awful secondary build from a score of 1 to a build quality score of 5. You can't beat it for that. This is perfect for kids that want to just throw it about, wrapping it into walls and all sorts. Like I said, hours and hours of fun, I think. and nothing really feels like it's going to break.
Yeah. I'm exactly the same as you. I gave it a 5 as well, folks. I really did. Big high five for the Dragster, simply because it's sleek looking. The pullback feature, I think, is the big draw on this. And personally speaking, I'd like to see that working in some sort of Lego system car. I think that would look really, really good, or at least hopefully it would play out well anyway. And I think having that pullback feature just gives it a new dimension.
Yeah.
Because ordinarily speaking, folks, with a Dragster anyway, let's face it, they've got a turning circle of like 10 miles, I think they have. They're no black cab, that's for sure, folks. They really aren't. You won't see them doing a U-turn. A U-turn to them is like I say, it's like the M25. That's about as U-turn as it gets, if you catch my drift. But yeah, I think it was just something like that. You would just sort of like, you push it forward or something like that. It'd be a bit boring. But these are actually fast. There's one thing about these things that always catch people out. It's how fast they are. And my one's so light, the Dragster's so light and so slick and so slim, that it actually pulls back. It kind of flips up like that. It's got this section on the back, these tiny little wheels, which work perfectly. They really do, folks. And that kind of takes it and it does like a wheel spin, which I think is quite exciting. And when you're a young kid, it's all about wheel spins and fun and speed and stuff like that. And I just wish I had some sort of track I could put it on and sort of whiz it around it. I think that would be quite fun. You never know. I'll do it one day, folks. But yeah, for me, I gave it a good, healthy 5. Which I think is good. I think that's fair enough. And the pullback feature is fantastic. I love it. And that's one of the. I was glad it actually did well, because that was one of the pulls for actually getting the set in the first place. So then we move along to likeness for source. Now, for me, I've given mine a 4, and I give mine because I look at it and I sort of think, yeah, it's a Dragster. It's got the tiny little wheels at the front. It's definitely one will get a blowout in one of those, folks, believe me, especially if you do like 400 miles an hour. Imagine that. It's slick. I think it looks right. It kind of bolts out when it should do. The paneling is actually quite nice on it. You've got this lovely, great big spoiler on the back. And of course, you've got the burners coming out of the exhaust pipes as well. And you've got the pullback feature as well. And so it's one of those things where the action, the play action reflects the look. And for me, that's why I gave it a 4. What did you think about your one, young Tech?
I also gave mine a 4. So mine is slightly different to Greg's in the sense that mine's actually based off of an actual monster truck. It's a licensed product with Monster Jam on the Max D. And it looks pretty damn accurate, especially at the scale. It's got the horns that look really nice. They're although a bit loose in the pin connection, so that's a bit of a shame. And they've put some sticker detailing on that's really nice. The sticker detailing on the side actually sticks out a lot more with the model, which I think would have been really cool to see in mold, but probably a tall order at the price point for this set. However, I think it does capture it really well. Maybe I've been a little bit harsh with giving it a 4. It possibly could have got a 5, but yeah, just some of the smaller details. I think of what we've given scores of 5 in the past. I think this is probably just below that. So I think I to keep my scoring consistent throughout the series, I've gone with a 4 for this one.
Yeah, consistent in every single way, unless it's a Monkey Kid set, folks. They always seem to do strangely very well for Tech. But anyway, moving on to arguably the most important category, that's value for money. Now, of course, these retail at roughly £18 here in the UK, which is really good value for money. Now, Tech and I, we actually had a little bit of luck because we managed to pick up our ones for about, I think my one was £15 off Amazon. I think yours was around £12.50 or something like that.
Yeah, £12.50, £13, I think.
Yeah, so very good in that respect. I mean, we're talking 20 to 33% off there, folks, so that's good. But obviously, we've got to base this on the retail value. So my one being kind of roughly 225 parts for £18. I think, personally speaking, I've given mine a 3, and that's simply because out of those 225 parts, folks, I think something like 220 of those parts are actually blue pins. At least that's what it felt like, in all honesty. 220 pins, 4 tyres, and then the odd panel. There you go, 225 pieces in a nutshell. But I also had the secondary I say no, I wouldn't call it necessarily a secondary build. It was a side build. It was no Monkey Kid side build, believe me. It's kind of like the poor man's traffic lights. It really is. It adds a little bit to the kind of the dragster feel. So I can definitely see why it was there. It's there for a reason. So for me, I give mine value for money. I give mine a 3.
Yeah, I think that's a really fair score, and I think with the pullback feature, like we've both said, that was the big draw of these sets for us. I think if you were to give us another really cool play feature, you might get a 5 out of it. I think if you take the pullback feature away, you're getting a 1. So again, I've gone with you, Greg. I've gone straight down the middle with 3.
Yeah, definitely, mate. So the pullback feature is king in these sets, folks. They're definitely worth getting for that. I'd actually like to see if anyone's actually mocked any sort of particular sets or something out there. I mean, can you imagine, right? Something like you use the pullback function on something like some sort of, I don't know, Star Wars speeder mock or something like that.
I mean, like Luke's land speeder, that would give it such
a land speeder on that, and maybe even filming it or something like that. But anyway, it would be fun though, wouldn't it, folks? You could have some sort of strange, something like Mario versus Sonic car or something like that. I don't know, maybe we'll do that one day, folks. Who knows? But anyway, let's kind of keep it in the here and now, and I think we get to kind of like the important part, I guess, of getting near to that score. So roughly speaking, where are you at with the scoring of your one?
So my score out of 25 came to a total of 16.
Oh, I say. Okay, interesting. So mine, folks, if you've been following this on and jotting down all the figures that we've been saying, comes out at 17.
He's just missed out.
What can I say? It's pretty neck and neck though.
It is. I think the only way to settle this properly is by having a race. Greg, I think I'm going to challenge you to
a challenge.
I'm going to challenge you to a race. I have confidence in this monster truck that I will beat you in a race.
All right. So okay, that's interesting. Then so a race. Now I think to make this a bit fairer, because I've just had an epiphany, folks. I really have. I reckon we should have a race, right? Definitely, 100%, right? I think a dragster should really beat a great big monster truck, shouldn't it? So I think we could make it we could square it up a little bit. Because I'm pretty confident I'll win this. I mean, I've kind of won it anyway. But if he's like one of those voters. It says no, he hasn't happened yet. I don't believe it's happened. Well, the only way he's going to believe it happens is if I beat.
Sore loser.
He's a sore loser, all right. Say that again, blimey. I reckon we should do the race, right? And then I think I've just thought of another thing we could do. We could play chicken. We can see which one comes off better playing chicken. We just a proper head-to-head, because this is what this is all about, folks. This is a head-to-head. So if we're going to do a head-to-head, why don't we do a head-to-head?
I like that. If my monster truck doesn't beat a dragster in a dead-on head-to-head, oh my gosh.
And I tell you what, none of that gluing malarkey as well, either. I don't want you super gluing all your parts together. No, I don't know. That'd be a great idea. But anyway, let us know what you think about that idea down in the comments below, folks, and who you think might actually win a bit of a chicken and obviously a race as well. But anyway, watch out for the social medias, folks. We'll come along and we'll do it very, very soon. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up. And if you happen to be new around here, then why not hop on and subscribe and become a big part of the LBD family. And if you happen to be new to TEK Productions, please do check out his channel down in the description below. As for now, I'll leave you now with some videos that I think you might like.
See you later.
Oh.